Hello everybody and welcome to my studio for this very quick and simple and I think fun activity, especially great for children and especially for anyone who hasn't got any particular skill at drawing. It's just a very open and relaxed way of creating an imaginary character, and the character is going to be an imaginary student for King's College. If you like this and give it a go, then do please send me your pictures of your imaginary students, and I'll make a little rogues gallery on the King's College website and perhaps one of our new printable PDF exhibitions as a welcome images from children. So, what are we going to do? Well, it's really straightforward. What I suggest you get ready are some sheets of A4, white paper, 5 or 6 would be plenty, some pens, and I'm going to use a felt pen here, a thick black felt pen, because I hope it'll show up on my white paper, but of course, you know, I've got coloured pens here. If you're working on a smaller scale, coloured crayons will be fine, biros are great, note writers, that kind of thing, anything really that makes a mark. And what we're going to do is, very straightforwardly, first of all, create a kind of identikit for our character where we can make some choices after practicing. So we're going to practice making some eyes, we'll practice making some noses, some hairstyles, some mouths, and then you guys will get a chance to put them together to create an imaginary student. And this is imaginary, so I'm going to start off here on my paper just to give you an illustration. I don't believe in demonstrations, by the way, so this is only to give you an idea. So for example, an eye might be something really straightforward like this. Very, very simple. But of course it could be, more as it were of a cartoony eye. Something like that. Or of course it could be an eye which is, a little bit more kind of aggressive looking, a bit nastier. But of course it could be a tiny eye. Maybe just a black dot. Why not? And of course eyes can be really strange shapes in an imaginary character. So we could have an eye which is really long and thin and a little bit bumpy, but it might have lots and lots and lots of lashes and look, something really strange like that. So you get the picture. So your first activity really is on one of the sheets of A4 paper, or A3 if you're lucky enough to have something bigger. It's just a practice doing lots of different kinds of eyes. Now I'm not going to stop and let you do that because I think you'll get the idea really fast. So on the next sheet of A4 paper, how about some different kinds of mouths? For example, it could be quite a big mouth like this, with a tongue hanging out, with maybe some teeth along the top and some teeth along the bottom, all higgledy-piggledy and not very nice. I'm just going to colour that tongue in so that it stands out. But of course, it could be a completely different kind of mouth. So it could be something a bit like this, which is perhaps more of a mouth which is singing in some kind of strange way, perhaps with a tongue inside, or maybe it's a simple line, a smiley mouth, like that. So again, on another sheet of A4 paper, practice making a whole load of different mouths for your imaginary character. I'm just going to turn this over, and on this side I'm going to suggest hair. Now hair is amazing. Now we're all different kinds of people, and one of the great characteristics I think of a person when you're doing a portrait or making an imaginary character is the hairstyle. Now, for example, you know, it could be completely wild and wacky, the hair. Of course, it could be much more organised. I'm sure you get the picture. It could be incredibly long and sort of flowing down the imaginary character, maybe even on both sides, why not? Okay, so try some different kinds of hairstyles for this imaginary student and go on and try some noses. What about different kinds of head shapes? Because we are talking about imaginary, so, you know, is it, you know, more of a kind of angular head, or is it a beautiful oval? Is it a circular head? You choose. Now, when you put your imaginary student together, you've got to decide, are you going to just have the head and shoulders, which will be fine, or are you going to have the whole body? So if it's a whole body, leave lots of space for a really strange body. The advantage of doing the body is that you can add in different kinds of body adornments. I mean, like jewellery. Perhaps they're carrying something like a bag, weird bag, or some kind of implement or tool that they're going to need for their studies. Maybe they've got huge boots on, or maybe flip-flops, or etc., etc., etc. So, create your identikit student. Create your strange new student for King's College. And if you do this, send me a picture. And my name's Nigel Meager. I look after the art rooms at King's, and my email address is nrm32@cam.ac.uk. And I'd be really delighted to hear from you and see your drawings. And if we get a few, even half a dozen would be more than enough. I'll make a little gallery on the King's website in the form of a PDF printable exhibition, so that you can print up your character and the others to display where you sleep, where you live, or maybe where you work. Bye! Bye from my studio.